topic is about breast milk storage. I'm Dr. Pauline Pichang, the director of Chadiana Medical Center, having passion and dedication about bringing up children well. Having a working experience for 7 good years, both in public and private hospitals. So welcome. Today we are going to discuss about what are the ways on how to store our breast milk once we express it, and where are we supposed to store them, at what time are we going to give to our babies, and what age is recommended for the babies who are stored for the milk, and how often are we going to give the babies the milk, and why are we discussing the topic. So you are going to understand what are the reasons for discussion about the breast milk attached. So we get to understand, first of all, we need to adhere in mind hygiene. Hygiene is number one point whereby we need to clean ourselves well.
Okay.
So before we go to point number one, how we are going to store our milk and make good use of it, we need to understand the reason why we are doing it. Number one, we are doing it just to promote infant growth, which is going to be healthy. We are going to prevent wastage of the milk, and also we are going to ensure that the milk is safe for the baby to take. And at the end of the day, you get that we are going to empower the mother on how to have full confidence on herself and her baby, that the baby is growing well while she's away from home. So now we are going to store the breast milk. So we have actually three ways. Number one, a mother can express the breast milk well at home, which is able to be stored at the room temperature at the maximum hours, 6 to 8 hours. So ensure that when the baby is feeding, you give small parts so that the baby is getting enough. Once the baby has gotten enough and the rest has not been tampered with, it can be restored back to the fridge. Number two way is about storing the breast milk in the fridge. In the storage in the fridge is supposed to stay there for around 4 days. 4 days, that is when the hygiene is being adhered to and the mother expresses the breast milk well, and at the same time the storage is also done accordingly. So the breast milk is supposed to stay there for 4 days. That's another second way on how to store our breast milk. Another that way of storing our breast milk is just storing them in the freezer. This is a good way of storing up our breast milk. Why? Because once a mother is given birth, you get that the mother, at that point in time, the milk is coming out very fast, and it's in a lot, whereby to avoid wastage, as I told you earlier, we need to express the extra milk and store them in the fridge. And you need to ensure you have your containers in readiness for the storage, more especially for the working mothers. It's going to be easier for you, cheaper for you, and convenient for you if you organize your things in advance. Simply because when you store your milk at the freezer, it can stay there for 6 months to 1 year if properly arranged, if properly adhered to the temperature, that is 25 degrees Celsius. So the baby is going to take the milk very safe with the proper nutrients also well kept. We have a rule of 555, that is 3 times 5, whereby you express the milk, which is going to stay for 5 hours under room temperature, and you ensure within those 5 hours the baby has taken the milk, and the baby has gotten enough, which is supposed to take. Another 5 is whereby we can give the baby in the next 5 days. So in the next 5 days of all the expressed milk which you have stored in the fridge, make sure the milk has been given to the baby, and the baby is also enjoying it. Another 5 is whereby you are going to give your baby in the next 5 months, whereby you ensure that the baby is getting enough milk with a better storage, with a better dates and the labeling of the containers. So ensure hygiene is given to standard and it's of high level for to ensure that the baby is not going to get all diseases like diarrhea diseases or another infection. No contamination of the milk. Make sure there's safety to the milk and there's no wastage of the milk. Vile nilikuwa nimewaeleza, siku ya leo tunaenda kudiscuss jinsi ya kuweka maziwa vizuri katika ndani ya friji, ndio watoto wetu waweze kukunywa vizuri bila matatizo, bila kuharisha. Na sio jambo moja kubwa, lazima tuhakikishe hali ya usafi iko juu vizuri, mikono yetu tumeisafisha vizuri, na pia mwili yote tumeisafisha vizuri, ndo ukiwa tayari kufanya expression ya maziwa unapata maziwa yako safi. So jambo kuu katika uwekezaji maziwa kwa fridge, lazima uwe na various containers ambapo which are well labeled for you to enable you to store milk according to the dates. So jambo la muhimu tunapata kuwa maziwa inaweza ekwa vizuri. Kwanza tukiwa tumeexpress maziwa kutoka kwa matiti ya mama, maziwa inaweza kaa for like 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours bila kuharibika. So hakikisha ndani ya masaa hayo 4 mpaka 6 ama 8 mtoto anaweza kuwa amekunywa maziwa bila matatizo yote. Na ikiwa kama mtoto ametumia hayo maziwa na yamepaki, yale yaliyopaki pia inafaa imwagwe, maanake ukimpa mtoto unaweza pata tayari iko na shida ama most of the nutrients imekuwa hazipo.